Last week, I interviewed Joe Messina, who was talking all about what he sees as the huge persecution of Christians in the United States. Of course, that's non existent. However, I've been receiving a deluge of emails over the last few days saying David isn't going to cover the Christian woman who has been sentenced to death for being Christian in Sudan. Well, we were just off over the weekend. I am going to cover that story. If you haven't heard of it, a Sudanese court sentenced Meriam Yehya Ibrahim, 27 years old, to death for her refusal to recant her Christian faith. Her husband told CNN he feels like he is completely helpless. Ibrahim is Christian, but the court considers her to be Muslim. The court convicted her of apostasy as well as adultery and sentenced her to 100 lashes because her marriage to a Christian man is considered void under Sharia law. The court gave her until Thursday to recant her Christian faith. She refused to do that, and her legal team now plans to appeal the verdict. In the meantime, Ibrahim, who is 8 months pregnant, remains in prison with her 20-month-old son. Born to a Sudanese Muslim father and an Ethiopian Orthodox mother, her father left when she was 6 years old. Ibrahim was raised by her mother as a Christian. Amnesty International is saying that she is a prisoner of conscience. Sudan is one of the most difficult countries in the world to be Christian. This is despicable. This is just as despicable as the emails I get focused on this one case from right-wingers, pretending that the real problem with religion is only the persecution of Christians, which is really a drastic misstatement, misunderstanding of the key thing, Lewis, which is really religious extremism in all forms and from all faiths.
That's true, but we do have to point out that those in America who compare their, quote, persecution to stories like this in Sudan or in Egypt are just complete idiots. They're completely out of their minds. I don't think they have any concept of what religious persecution can actually be like. This is an example of that.
Of course, this is an actual example. Being told that you're being boycotted by the public because you won't serve gay people, that's not Christian prosecution, right? They should, if they really want to see Christian prosecution or prosecution of people based on religious beliefs, they should go to other parts of the world, and this is exactly that type of story. What we need to realize is that this type of violence from religious extremism has to be considered on a timeline. We have this story, yes, but we can't forget that in Christianity, we've had the Crusades, the Inquisition, Reformation, witch hunts, etc. We know that with mass following of any religion, any so-called sacred texts, we will see those sacred texts misused to justify violence and discrimination. And this should really be a cautionary tale about all extremist religious beliefs, not just Islam, which is really the focus of most of the Christians that are emailing me.
Right. That seems to be the source of all evil for them. But also let me add that the government in Khartoum is the same government that has been slaughtering indigenous black people in Darfur for about 10 years now. I mean, this type of thing is probably happening way more often than we would think in Sudan.
We are member supported, and there's a whole other show that we do just for our supporters. Get all of those member benefits right now by going to davidpakman.com/.